with the customs and rules and confirmed by Obashi and his family, then it was not returned. And if it was not returned, then Obashi is still Judy's husband. And if Obashi is still Judy's husband, anybody marrying Judy is marrying somebody's wife. And according to custom and their belief system, some terrible thing will happen to the man. So that's one thing. That's one part of it. But there's another part of it. And the second part of the first part is Judy still married to Mr. Obashi or not? It depends on whether everybody agreed that bride price was returned. Apparently, Mr. Obashi says no. And Mr. Obashi is still trying to request a DNA test for the children Judy had recently. I don't know how he's going to do that, but that's one thing. That deals with the issue of whether there was a divorce between Obashi and Judy. Now, let's go to the second question. The second question is, was there a marriage between you and Judy? We already told you that there could not be. There could not be. Because you cannot have a second wife. We will explain that. But let us assume that you did not have that obstacle. Let us assume that you was a bachelor, single man. Has he done something which would have amounted to marriage of Judy? In other words, did he pay bride price? Okay. Bride price is not paid by one person. Bride price payment is an undertaking involving two families and their proper representatives. If you go and borrow your friends to accompany you to the house of a woman and you pay them money and call it bride price, it's not bride price. You just dash the money. It's not bride price. For it to be the bride price, you'll be represented by your own family. The man's family, the man's father, or representative of the man's father will be the one actually to hand out the money. Chief Peter Edochie had said he did not know that Yul was getting married to Judy. Peter Edochie did not know what Yul was doing. Peter Edochie was not part of any bride price payment. Peter Edochie never went to the house of Judy's father to speak the way we do it customarily for his son to marry his daughter. So, any money you paid for Judy cannot be called bride price. It would be bride price in accordance with Igbo custom if you went there alone, or if you went there with the wrong people. The wrong people would be people other than his father or representative of his father, his elders. Even if Peter Edochie did not go, he must send somebody. If he could not go, he must send somebody. He could call his first son and say, okay, please represent me. Follow your brother, you go to that woman's house. Tell them you represent me. I can't make it because I have arthritis or some problem. I can't make it, but you are representing me. Go there and pay the bride price. Let's pay the bride price. But that did not happen. You just came, made one uniform with Judy, and they dressed up and went to the family of Judy. When people saw them passing, they thought they were acting movie. They didn't know it was marriage they were coming for. So you went there, I don't know, maybe he dashed them money. It's common, it's normal to visit your girlfriend's parents and give them money. It's okay. It's okay. So he went there and gave them money. Nobody knows how much he gave them. Nobody. But one thing you can't do is you can't call it bride price. So when you say that you paid bride price for Judy, we ask you, by what custom? Tell me the custom. What Igbo custom allows a man to stroll to his girlfriend's house and give money to her parents and call it bride price? For it to be bride price, you will be led by your own kinsmen, who will have the authority of your father. So it is clear now. That's the second part of it. That's the second part of it. That's the second part of it. Which is, has you paid bride price for Judy? No. I don't think so. I don't think so. That is, if you follow the custom. Now, if you're an Igbo person and you're listening to me, I will ask you one question and be honest about it. Does a man go alone to pay bride price? Doesn't he go with his family, his kinsmen, particularly his father? So, anything you do, any payment you pay alone cannot be called bride price. And now, you already heard Pete Edochie. He said he heard about the marriage on social media. So, Pete did not follow you to pay bride price. Pete did not authorize anybody to represent him at an event where bride price was paid. So when you call Judy his wife, you have to be a troublemaker, really. You have to be a troublemaker, because if you are not a troublemaker, we ask you, what made Judy Yule's wife? What made Judy Yule's wife? Tell me. Bride price was not paid? And that is if indeed Judy had divorced Mr. Bashi, because it's possible Mr. Bashi is still her husband. So you got to understand what is going on. There is a reason you involve kinsmen in bride price pay. There's a reason you have to bring them together. Because if you leave just the parents alone and the other, people could get greedy, they can take money twice from. But when you involve the whole kinsmen, somebody's going to say, no, we can't take bride price twice because we still haven't repaid the other bride price. If you had called the kinsmen of Judy, maybe somebody would have said, no, what about Mr. Bashi? But you went to see the parents of Judy alone. Judy called her friends, and you called his friends, and they went there. Whatever they did, they cannot be called marriage or bride price payments at all. There was not proper, adequate representation in accordance with the Igbo customs. Because those of you who want to talk about Igbo custom, you don't even seem to understand Igbo custom. If you understood Igbo custom, how can you marry without his father knowing? Is it done that way in Igbo land? I ask you now, you champion of Igbo custom, is it how it is done in Igbo land? You marry without your father knowing? You went there alone? And you call it marriage in accordance with Igbo custom? Okay, now, there is another problem. Another problem you have to understand. And what's this problem? This is a bigger problem than you realize. When you met Judy, Yule was married. Yule was married. You knew that. Judy knew that. Judy was also married. Yule knew that. Judy knew that. Both of them consciously decided to cheat on their spouses. Yule decided to cheat on his wife. Judy decided to cheat on her husband. Both of them. Now, there is something you have to know about human nature. Do you think that Judy was the only woman Yule would have cheated with? Do you think that Judy would be the only woman Yule was messing around with? Once Yule decided to violate his marital vow, we assume there must be other women he was sleeping with. Likewise, do you think that Yule was the only man Judy was sleeping with? Once Judy decided to mess around with her poor Mr. Bashi, she would have been sampling every opportunity. Now tell me, why would you be faithful to Judy when he was not faithful to me, his wife? Why would Judy be faithful to you while she was not faithful to Mr. Bassey? Therefore, you may think that we are dealing with three people.